Hi everybody, so my name is Rylan, and as some of you may or may not know, I am a female to male transgender person. In this video, I'm going to do my own version of kind of a transgender dictionary. Now, I know that there have been videos done on like the ABCs of gender, the ABCs of whatever, but I'm going to do my own video because I'm just going to do my own video speaking of my own experiences and my own explanations of what I think different terms for gender are. And the reason I'm doing this is because I make videos and there might be friends or family that watch my videos and they're saying, "Whoa, Rylan, slow down. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what the word cis means. I don't know what dysphoria is. What are you talking about when you say binding and packing? I have no idea what you're talking about." And that's why I want to make this video. I kind of want to bring everybody up to speed so we can all be on the same page. And maybe you found my video on YouTube. Maybe you're watching this video because you follow me on Tumblr. Or maybe you're watching this video because you're an ally of mine and you just want to support me. Either way, this is a learning experience. So I say we all get on the same page and we can learn a few things. All right. So when I started this video, I introduced myself as an FTM, that I'm female to male, and that I'm transgender. So let's start with those two terms. I'm an FTM, which means that I'm female to male. That means that I was born female, and then I identify as a male. So basically, I was assigned female at birth, and the anatomy that I was born with was assigned female, but I identify, my gender identity as male. I could be called transmasculine or a trans man or a trans guy is another way that I could be identified. Let's talk about the term transgender. Basically, if you break that down, it literally means across genders. The term transgender basically means that the gender that someone was born in, they don't identify with that gender. So the biological sex that you were born in, you don't identify with. As I said, I was born in a female body, but I don't identify with that. That's all that means. So most of you that are watching this video probably identify as being cisgender or cis. That means that the body that you were born in and the anatomy that you were assigned at birth is the gender that you identify with. So I've used that term before and I'll probably continue to use it. Now, here's something that a lot of people struggle with, and usually in the beginning of your transition or maybe before you start hormones or those kind of things. And that term that I want to talk about is being misgendered. Being misgendered is extremely difficult and something that we don't want to deal with, but happens on a daily basis for me as I'm beginning my transition. Being misgendered is the act of hearing pronouns and words that are being used to describe you of the opposite gender that you identify as. So I constantly get misgendered as a female, even though I'm a guy. So I'm constantly hearing ma'am or miss or she or her when it should be sir, mister, him or his. That's what being misgendered is. So along with being misgendered, there is the term passing. Now passing pretty much means you go about your daily life, and it's kind of how you blend into society. Are you perceived as the gender that you are? Can I go through my life passing as a male? Are people going to look at me and say, that's a guy? Or are they going to look at me and say, that's a girl? I don't pass right now. I know that my voice, my face, my hips, my body doesn't necessarily read as male right now. I'm only 40 days on testosterone. I'm aware that I don't pass as a male. I know that further along in my transition I will, but that's just something that I'm going to have to wait for. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But that's pretty much what the basics of passing are. Certainly, as people's transitions happen, they will continue to pass, and there are certainly people that before they start hormones or they choose not to start hormones, they're passing already. They are passing with flying colors. So along with that, let's talk about the term dysphoria. Dysphoria can be described as, and again, these are my words. Someone might describe this differently. Maybe if you Google it, it might come up as something different, but this is how I describe it. I describe dysphoria as the feelings of uncomfortableness. It's not a word, but we're going to pretend it is. The feelings of uncomfortableness centered around the body parts, doesn't always have to be your body, but the feelings of uncomfortability around the gender that you were born in. So being uncomfortable in the body that you were born in and the feelings and emotions associated with that. But it's more than being uncomfortable. It's almost paralyzing. So common dysphoria for a female to male would be chest dysphoria. So for me, I struggle with chest dysphoria. For a female to male, you might experience dysphoria in the chest because you have breast tissue. And a way that you might deal with that would be by binding. Binding is the act of taping down your breast tissue. That can be done in a lot of ways. Usually in movies, you'll see it as women taping down their breast tissue with an ace bandage. That's not a healthy way to bind, and it's known very popularly in the female to male community to never bind your breasts with ace bandages because you can crack your ribs, you can't breathe, and it's very dangerous. Don't ever do it. Basically what we do is we wear compression shirts, very specifically tailored for female to males. It's much easier to breathe, it's healthier, it's safer, it's just kind of what you do. Another type of dysphoria that female to males can experience, and also male to females, would be bottom dysphoria. Again, I'm only going to speak for female to males, but a lot of the dysphoria that's surrounded around the trans men or trans masculine community would be, now I'm going to be very blunt here, would be the lack of, would just be the frustration of the genitalia that we have down there. Maybe missing something that we feel should be down there that we don't have. If that's not clear enough, I'm just going to say it. Not having a dick when you feel like you should have one. I said it. If you're my family member, I said it, but that can be a struggle for people. Okay, there it is. Voila. So, you can bind or you can pack, and pretty much what a packer is some type of, it can either be a prosthetic or something along those lines that mimics a male penis. And you can put that in your pants just to give you the realistic feel, look, whatever you need to just pretty much give you, to just make you feel better, I guess, to combat the dysphoria that you have about your body and to kind of just combat that feeling that you feel incomplete. And along with that, I want to throw in the term of an STP. Now, an STP is a stand-to-pee device. Now, they make these for actually cis women, and there's different brands called a Go Girl, She, We. This kind of spans even in the cis community, but an STP is made specifically for trans men, and that is something that trans men can use to stand to pee. And basically that is a prosthetic use that you can actually go to a urinal if you'd like, because it looks like a male genitalia, and you can go to a urinal and pee like a cis guy. Now you know. Pretty cool, I think. Now the term transphobic, you've heard of homophobic, transphobic, any type of slur, any type of remark against transgender people would fall under the term of transphobic. So me, have I encountered transphobic remarks? Absolutely. Part of the territory. Whatever. You deal with it. You move on. It's fine. Alright, so along with that, we can talk about top surgery and we can talk about bottom surgery. Top surgery is the removal of breast tissue, and bottom surgery is pretty much the pretty much getting a penis. Getting a phalloplasty or getting a medioplasty is what that is. So there's top and bottom surgery. The two main surgeries that you can have. There are a crap ton of other surgeries that you can have, but I'm not going to get into that. But those are the two main surgery for females to male. Top and bottom surgery. I'm going to talk about a few things, just tips and pointers that you should never ask trans people. This is just a little like, all right, Please do not ask a trans person about their anatomy. Please do not ask us about our genitals, because you would never ask anyone else that. You would never ask a cis person what they have going on in your pants. Would you walk up to a cis person and say, how big is your dick? What size boobs do you got? What do your boobs look like? You would never ask anyone else that. So please don't ask us that, because it's none of your business. Please don't ask a transgender person what surgeries they intend on having, because again, it's none of your business. It does not validate our identities. It does not make us more or less valid as a trans person whether or not we decide to have surgeries. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have surgeries. You don't have to start hormones. You don't have to change your name. You do not have to do anything to make you transgender. The fact that you identify as trans makes you trans. You don't have to have surgeries. So asking us, what surgeries are you going to have? Or the simple question of, have you had the surgery? There's no reason to ask those questions. It's just completely unnecessary. And the number one question that please don't ask anybody, at least for me, as my transition is going to continue, please don't ask a trans person what their real name is. Please don't ask what their birth name is. It doesn't matter. What their name is now is their real name. Birth names don't matter. That can be extremely traumatic. That can be extremely dysphoric and very uncomfortable for people. It doesn't matter. Their name that they have now is their real name. Let's leave it at that. So, I hope this video was informative. I hope you learned a couple things. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about the things that I talked about, let me know. That's why I'm here. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope more than anything that you have a fantastic day, and thank you so much for watching. Yeah, thanks again.